Hey everybody, Eric Hayden here on YouTube. This will be a pretty quick video, just towards sunset. Want to do a follow-up on the weeds in the garden. If you saw one of the last videos, I mentioned how we have quite a bit of nutsedge in the garden. A lot of that is from either a combination of horse manure or city compost. Both good things for your garden, but the weeds certainly can be troublesome. We talked about how we use ProSedge, and we also talked about how it can take a while, especially if the weed is mature, not just nutsedge, but really anything. The earlier you can get ahead of it, whether that's pre-emergent to prevent things. Grasses like that aren't preventable by a pre-emergent. But nonetheless, a lot of weeds are prevented by a pre-emergent. Then if you do have weeds, just hitting them early or pulling them up is your best course of action. Once they get mature, it's harder, or at least takes longer to kill them, especially if you're in a drought. So I'm going to show you the difference after a rain. I didn't spray again, but I want to show you what happened to the weeds. I haven't done anything different. The only difference is we had rain, and it's been about another week since the last video. Also saw an outstanding bloom of Ring of Fire. I'll show you that here in a second. So again, quick update of the evening. Tomorrow is Halloween, so we are getting toward the latter part of fall, even here in North Carolina. Before we get into the weeds, I always like to take a walk through the garden at least once or twice a week just to see what's going on. For the most part, it is disease-free. Things are looking good. I did some light pruning because of the storm, actually pretty good pruning, and you can see some of the roses are pushing out. Certainly can't help that. The other thing I noticed, we still have some black spot. I hope it's not downy mildew. Let's see here. Pretty sure it's still black spot on some of the roses, so that looks pretty bad. That was on headliner, but you'd be amazed by just pulling these leaves off how you can help with the spread of disease in your garden. I already did a contact killer, Manzate. I did a preventative propiconazole before our rains, but we've been extremely wet. We went from not having rain to having 4 or 5 days worth of rain, and that in itself is not bad. But the fact is, we had a lot of drizzle, and it was just kind of murky and cool. Temperatures only in the 50s and 60s, so really ideal conditions for a spread of fungus in the garden. One thing I wanted to show you were these weeds. Again, I haven't done anything different. I noticed that perhaps the rabbits are helping because these are trimmed back. I did not do that. But notice, compared to my last video, you're starting to see a hint of yellow. With this ProSedge or a lot of weed killers or herbicides, they will take a while to work, especially the more mature it is. So you can see with these weeds back here, they are more mature, still showing more of a light green than that dark healthy green that they were showing in the last video. And then these smaller plants definitely showing more of the influence of that herbicide. So not a huge difference, but definitely as I walk through the garden, hopefully you can see this, the weeds kind of have a yellow tinge to them. They are definitely feeling the impact of that herbicide. You can really see it in certain parts of the garden here, and then definitely with this cluster over here. So if you're in a drought, if you have mature weeds, if it's chilly out, your herbicide is going to take longer to work. It doesn't mean it won't work, just don't expect quick results. I think maybe 2.5 weeks ago I sprayed this, and again, it wasn't really until we had some rains and also some warmer weather that things started going. And these weeds are, when they're actively growing, they're actually a little easier to kill than if they're not growing well because of drought or colder weather. And you can hopefully see that yellowing of the weed. Now, with that said, I always say kick them when they're down with regarding to weeds. So yes, I did one application about 2.5 weeks ago. I will do another one. I like to do it well before rains so it gets soaked into the roots and also the stem of the plant and the leaves. But they're kind of in a weakened state right now, so rather than let them slowly die off this fall, I'm going to certainly hit them with a second round, kick them while they're weakened, and hopefully that will get better knockdown as we head into the month of November. One of the roses is looking really good, Randy Scott. This one was not pruned back for the show, so it's producing some very, very nice white blooms. They have kind of a creamy yellow in the center. Notice they were not protected, so some of them are a little more damaged than others in the rains that we've had. We had over 1 inch of rain here in eastern North Carolina, and again, there's that nutsedge hopefully dying off. Last bloom I want to show you, so that's Randy Scott, beautiful white hybrid tea that was hybridized by John Smith. It's the same person that did roses like Claire Elise, also Sunny Sundays, to name some of his best ones. Really good hybridizer out of Northern Maryland. This one is damaged a little bit, and the orange is sort of showing up in the lack of daylight here, but that's Ring of Fire. You can see on the outer petals certainly some damage. We had 40-mile-per-hour winds again and an inch of rain with another nor'easter, so certainly some challenging conditions here in the eastern part of North Carolina in the fall months, whether it's hurricanes or coastal storms. Nonetheless, certainly looking like some nice blooms. That's it in the garden. A quick video like I promised, and we'll continue to watch these blooms. A few more over the next couple weeks, but the majority of what we're doing right now is continuing our spray program and making sure that we're knocking down these weeds before we get into the winter, so we don't have as many that we're dealing with as we head toward the springtime here in East North Carolina, where we start our pruning as early as the last week of February to the first 10 days of March. Hope everyone's doing well. Next video, I'll try to do an update on the cuttings and also budded roses, mainly Miss Kitty, and then also have some headliners. Take care, everyone.